Okay, today you're going to see a Year 8 group who have been studying 2D design. They've also been using a program called Pro Desktop. They have been working on a design that has been now actually cut on a machine, and today in the lesson you're going to be students making the back part and the base part that will actually slot together to make their CD rack. The objectives today are obviously to get the project completed, but also along that path learning how to draw file using some various hand tools, using a coping saw, as well as using a tri-square, which again they'll be tested at the end of the lesson. Okay, morning. If you can have a seat then please, Year 8. Morning to you all. Okay, in your planners this morning, if you haven't got your planners, I've got some paper available at the front here. Could we turn to this week's learning log? Okay, I appreciate we had Curriculum Enrichment Week last week, and I hope it all went very well for everybody. Lots of exciting trips last week. This week, as you know, is the final week for us before we have to complete this project of the CD rack that we've been making. Obviously, we were working next door where we were using 2D design programs and using CAD programs. Anyone tell me what CAD stands for? C-A-D. Computer-aided design. Excellent. Can anyone tell me what CAM stands for? Computer-aided manufacturing. Excellent. And it was the manufacturing bit, Pat, that we were actually waiting for, where your designs were going to be cut out on the side, which have now been done. And this is the part that we've got to assemble today. Okay, so on the board here you can see we have some objectives for today. Obviously to finish the CD rack project, to finish all project work that we may have. Obviously on Thursday, tomorrow, to take home the CD rack because we have to glue them this afternoon. And obviously all work that we've done, any flat work, our design work that we did next door on the computers, that needs to be handed in at the end of today's lesson. Okay. In your planners then, could I ask you now just to write down then in your learning log the objectives for today, objective 1, 2 and 3, just while I'm doing the register. Okay, if you could answer your names then please. Anu? Yes, sir. Morning to you. Jordan? Yes, sir. Morning to you. Pauline? Yes, sir. Morning. Jake is on holiday, so let's go to Erin. Morning, sir. Morning. Anisha? Dudley, Danielle, morning. Scott, Chloe, morning. Peter, morning, sir. Chris, morning, sir. Patrick, morning, sir. And Marie is absent. Samuel, yeah. Mark, Anthony, yeah. Morning to you, Anthony. And Abdullah. And Abdullah's away today. Excellent, thank you for that. Okay, one more minute then just to get those learning objectives written down. And then we can make a start today. Excellent. Main objective for today then is to get the CD rack completed. Yeah? There we go. Flip chart 1. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, completed? Completed? Okay. Right, we can close our planners up then. Just pop those to the side or pop them away for the moment. Okay, because we're in a workshop, so we obviously have some workshop safety that we need to think about before we can actually start practical, yeah? Your stools will need to be stacked over to the sides. So if you could stack them in groups of 4. So you 4, you can stack yours there. You 4, stack yours there. You 4, stack yours here, please. If you could do that now and then meet me around the front, please. Grab yourself an apron. Okay, blazers off, aprons on, yeah? Blazer off, apron on. Okay, as soon as you've stacked your chair, pop your blazers over to the side there, aprons on, yeah? Make sure that all bags are away. Do you want to pop your blazer up on the side here, man? So it's going to get very dusty. Yeah. Go. Oh, that's excellent work here. Very, very good. to the front, yeah? As soon as you're done. Come up to front as soon as you're done. Have you popped your bag away? Your bag's not out on the back there, is it? If it is, just pop it under that bench there, yeah? Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, very much then today, and I apologise about the light. You might be able to see a little bit better if you're looking at this screen as I'm going through it then. Our objectives obviously today is to get the CAD-CAM CD rack project completed so that we're at the point at the end of today's lesson where myself and our technician can actually glue these together so that they're now looking like this as a complete product, okay, as opposed to 4 pieces of acrylic, okay. So, 2 objectives then. There's our first one, okay, is obviously to file down the edges of the acrylic to make it nice and smooth. When your designs have been cut out, some edges are smooth, but some are still not very smooth. So that's your first task for today, to get those nice and smooth. And then to actually cut the design, okay, so that the actual pieces can fit together. And here you can see I've got an example of that. That's what the base piece is going to look like. Young lady, do you want to come round to here, just so we can see? Are you having problems with that apron? Do you want to see if there's another one there? Maybe the technician. If you give it to the technician there, he'll just sort that out for you. That's brilliant. That's what that piece is going to look like. That's the base piece, which fits into that slot. Okay. And then this is the back piece that is going to fit into that slot. So there's quite a bit of work then in terms of marking these out using the correct tools and then cutting them out using a coping saw. Okay. So there are 2 objectives. Let's move on. What are we going to learn then today? Okay, we've got a few things we're going to learn. Obviously, how to use wet and dry. Okay, now wet and dry, you may have seen before, is this material here. Looks a little bit like sandpaper, but as it says, wet and dry. It can be used wet or it can be used dry. And we use this for sanding acrylic, the actual plastic. Okay. The other thing we're going to be learning how to use today is a tri-square. Does anyone know what a tri-square is? You're nodding. Do you want to go and show me a tri-square from the tool rack then? So that everyone knows where to go. Watching, if you don't know what a tri-square is. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so using one of these. Some people sort of think, oh, that's how we use it. No, that's not how we use it. We actually use it for marking things up at 90 degrees. Okay, making sure that things are square. We can also use it for checking to make sure that when we've cut our slots out, that they're actually level. And if you look at these ones, I'll pop it on that side, you can clearly see, is that one higher than that one? So this person hasn't done it very well, have they? Okay, so yours will be much better than that. What was the name of that, Erin? A tri-square. Excellent. We'll be demonstrating that to you. Okay, other things that we're going to be learning obviously is how to mark out material accurately. How we're going to use a coping saw. Now, all of you should know how to use a coping saw and what a coping saw is, but we're going to do a quick recap on that just in case we're not quite sure. And the last thing there is obviously how to work safely as a group. Now, we've got lovely workshops that we're working in this morning, plenty of room, so we shouldn't be getting under each other's feet. Okay, can I just remind you, when you're walking around the workshops, we are walking. Okay, anyone who's still got a bag out in the workshops, when we start practical, there are these benches that have the gaps underneath here. Make sure your bags go underneath there so we don't trip up over any straps. Okay, right, moving on then. There are objectives then. Okay, so what do we need to do to start with then? Let's give some of this lovely work out. Whose was this one? That's your one. Excellent. There should be a second one that goes with that. We'll just have a look for that in a moment. Okay. Whose was this one? Excellent design. I take it that this is Ben's. I know. Heat. Whose was this one? Heat. There we go. Excellent design. Oh, now this is words after my own heart. I love me. Whose was this one? That's your one. There we go. You love yourself. Excellent. CD rack. No one recognised it here. Obviously away today. Now this one, I have to say, guys, took absolutely ages to cut out. Yeah, amount of words on here. Yeah, don't test me, just love me. Da, da, da. Is your one? Yeah, excellent. Well done. Okay. Now, this is the first time someone's actually done this on clear. Now, this, I think, actually works really, really well because it picks up the pattern, actually, of the router as it's cutting out the design. Is this anyone's hair today? Okay. That's really, really good. I really like that design. Okay. I think that might have been Mark's, actually. Okay. XA or VA? VA? VA. There we go. Okay. Oh, skull and crossbones. Whose was this one? Excellent. That's come out really well, that one, hasn't it? Okay. Now, sunny smiley face. Whose was this one? One's here today. Again, a lovely design. What I like about this one is it's the way it's completely filled the actual acrylic. Sometimes people do really small designs in the middle. They don't come out that well. So that's good. Okay, so now some words here. Can't quite read those. Whose are these ones? Yeah. Guys, can I remind you, remember I was saying to you about how sometimes if you do your font size too small, where the router is, it's just going to make the letters fall out. And that's what's actually happened in the middle there. So, not a good design in that respect. Okay, the cross one there is yours. Excellent. Okay. Bit of cleaning up we're going to show you in just a moment on the side there. This is a nice design. Whose was this one? Okay, it's a lovely design, that one, young man. Excellent. Summer. Whose is this one? All right. Oh dear. I think this person needs to be made to sit outside. CFC. He's not here. Right. Chelsea football. Oh dear. Should be banned. There we go. All right. Lastly, whose was this one? Okay. Now, guys, what I've done today for those students that cannot remember their designs or they didn't manage to get them to me in time so that we could cut those out, what we've actually done is we've cut some blank ones so you can still work on it today, and maybe it could be that you print your design out on paper and then stick that onto the side there to actually make a design. So what colour would you like, yellow or blue? Yellow. There we go. Okay, right guys, let's get started with a bit of practical work. All of you, if you feel the sides here very carefully, don't push your finger too hard, you can feel that the sides are fairly smoothish in some cases. Erin, yours is very rough. Blue, for some reason, I think it could be because it's slightly thicker acrylic, it comes out a little bit rougher. Okay, we need to file these down, looking this way. All right, so what we're going to do today to get you started is do something called draw filing. Okay, now, many of you know how to file, but to do draw filing, you've got to work really carefully, okay? You want to use a smooth file, okay? Not a coarse file, or what I call a B file, yeah? Which is this one here, because it will literally rip the acrylic, okay? So, acrylic is sensitive. It's a bit like me, yeah? It likes to be treated nicely, yeah? So use a smooth file, okay? Now, draw filing is as it says. Are you watching? Yeah? You are drawing the file backwards and forwards. You're not going across your work, okay? And the good way of remembering that is if you go across it, it will crack, you will be cross, yeah? Okay? Draw filing. And now that's going to leave it fairly smooth. It will certainly get rid of all those rough bits that you've got on there, Erin, yeah? Okay. To really finish it off, you're then going to use this, which is wet and dry. Okay, now I'm happy for you to go to the sink, dampen it down a tiny bit, yeah? Okay, and I've seen people using it like this. That's okay, it will get it smooth, okay? But what it will do is, it will slightly round off your edges, because obviously your fingers, okay, are quite spongy, okay? What you might want to do is go just to the tool rack there, get yourself a sanding block, pop it round a sanding block, and then use a sanding block with it, okay? That's the first job today then, is to get all your edges on these two designs nice and smooth. When you've done that, come and see me at the front. As soon as I have the first person back to the front, we can then show you the next bit, okay? So, just before we go, smooth file to start with, which you can get from the bottom there. I'm going to test someone now. What was the name of this? Wet and dry. Okay. Any questions at all? Okay. Find yourself a vice then. Okay. Files are on the front. Wet and dry is up the front here. Do you want to have another quick look through those to see if you recognise any of those then? And then you can then get started, yeah? Just get some wet and dry then. Okay, and just give that a little edge. Oh, there we go. I can feel that. You feel that lip there? You feel it? Sand it down wet and dry. Okay. No, get some wet and dry. Wet and dry is on the front here, and just go over it with some wet and dry, yeah? It is that one. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, where was the... There was only one of those, wasn't it? No, could you just get some wet and dry and just go along the edge there? I can see some teeth marks down there, yeah? Yeah. Wet and dry, just to get it nice and smooth. That's fine, you can use that. Or there's one on the front there. Wet and dry is on the front there. Excellent. Okay, pop these away. Let's have a look. That's fine, that's good. Yep, that's good. You don't want it too coarse, not a B file. Hold it a bit closer. That's good. Remember, not going across the acrylic, you're going along the acrylic. Get that nice and level. That's good. A little bit closer. Come a bit closer, hold it there and there. I know the temptation is to hold the handle, yeah? Yep. Okay. That's fine, that's good. I'll just get you a sanding block, actually. Oh, are they? Oh, there we go. That's actually used for cleaning files. That's what?
Wait for block.
For a block?
Yeah, no, for
file?
Yeah.
Is there none there that you can use?
I don't think so.
Here we go. Doesn't have to be a flat file. You can use a triangular one. It's still nice and smooth on there.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. That's good. Yep. Yep, that's lovely. So it's smooth all the way around. About 2 more minutes on that at the very most, and we're then going to move on. Now get some wet and dry now. Yeah? Whose bag's this one? Oh, let's pop this away. Can you just tuck your bag under a tiny bit? The strap's just sticking out. That's good. Okay. Nice and smooth? Oh, excellent. Yep, that's lovely. Excellent. That's okay. Don't worry too much. If you put it on a block, yeah, you then won't have a problem with that. Shouldn't rip. Okay. Yes, please. That's nice. Have you done that edge? Okay, you've done this one yet? Oh, that's lovely. Feel that. Isn't that lovely and smooth? Excellent. Well done. Do you want a block? You're okay. Okay. That's quite coarse, that. Can you feel this is quite coarse? Yeah? Quite rough. There is some smoother down there, so if you want to get the smoother, yeah? If you're doing it like this, what's it tending to do is move up and down. 2 hands, you can really apply a lot of pressure on that, yeah? And that gets rid of all those lines. If you're just doing this, it's not going to do it. Okay? Okay, excellent. That's it? Is this one done then? Okay. No, we keep that at the front. Yeah, we can reuse that. Lovely. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you just to stop what you're doing a second, come up to the front. We've got a couple of people that have finished. Don't worry if you haven't finished what you're doing. I appreciate people are working at different paces now. That's okay. But obviously we don't want to hold up those people that are ready. Okay? All right. Now, the next bit we need to show you is actually how to mark up now the back bit and the base bit. Okay? It's a very, very simple process. The first thing you need to do is obviously select the colours of acrylic that you want. Okay, doesn't have to be the same colour, as you can see here. This person's gone for the same colour, but it doesn't have to be. I think opposite colours actually works just as good, as you can see here on this pink princess one. Okay, so select your two pieces of acrylic. Okay, I'm going to go for this piece and this piece. Obviously, these are the same. That's just purely coincidence. Could I ask you to leave the backing on it? It has a backing on, as you can see here, which I'm just peeling off. Yeah. Could you leave that on for the moment? That's very important. Why do you think we leave the backing on?
So it doesn't get scratched.
So it doesn't get scratched, yeah. You may be putting it down on the benches and holding it in the vise, yeah. Why else? Why else do you think? What have we got to do on top of this piece of acrylic to help us when we come to cut it out? Got to mark it out, yeah, excellent. And if we haven't got that plastic covering on there, we're not going to be able to mark it out. We'd have to put maybe a piece of masking tape across there. All right, okay. Just another bit about safety now, guys. I noticed a couple of you were doing this. Even when you're not filing, I noticed some of you are going to the benches, leaning on a bench, and then doing this, rubbing your eyes, yeah? Can I just say to you, check your hands. Look, you can see how much dust I've got on my hand there, yeah? So if you're rubbing your eyes, obviously putting them in your ears, things like that, just give your hands a little bit of a clean first. This acrylic dust, if it gets in your eyes, is very fine and it will be quite an irritant, yeah? So just be careful on that, all right? Okay, marking out then is very, very simple. Principally what we're doing is, if I can find my pen, where did I pop that? There we go. The next screen actually gives you a little bit more of an indication of what we're doing. We've literally got to take the corners out, okay, on each piece. Got to mark it though very, very carefully. All right, it does take a little bit of watching this, so really make sure you're watching 100%. The first thing I need to do is get myself a ruler. Thank you. So, there we go. And I need to measure 2 millimeters. Okay, now I'm using a biro because that's a little bit easier. 2 millimeters in. 2 millimeters in. Do the same at that end. Whoop, 2 millimeters in. 2 millimeters in. Okay, now the other way I could do this, which is maybe a little bit quicker, yeah, I could actually get my piece of acrylic, put that on the end there like that, and mark it that way. Okay, so there's two ways that we can do it. What do you think I now need to do to draw a straight line along there? I could use the ruler. I could possibly even get a piece of acrylic and go and do it that way. How can I make sure that I'm using a tool that's going to make it 90 degrees to that edge? Not a triangle square, you're close. Tri-square, yeah, very close. Good effort, young man, yeah? Tri-square. There we go. That's the metal version of it. You obviously got the larger version of it. That's fine. Looking what I do, I pop that on that edge there like that. There's a little lip along there. Place that on the edge like that, and I draw my line. I then go up to the top there. Yep, can you see that? Yep, and draw my line. Pat, just come in and demonstrate that for me. Okay, just to show me that you understand that. Excellent, and draw my line. Okay, well done, good. How do I know then now where to mark my lines there and there? Now this is the base bit. Now this, guys, is really important. I'm going to clear this so that we can really see and we're not getting confused what I'm doing here. This is really important, guys, watching. There's your side. That's the slot it's going to go into. Placing it down. I'm placing the piece of acrylic that I just drew the line on, and I'm going to mark it there and there. Okay? Was that hard? No. To help me know which bit I need to cut out now, though, I'm going to mark those. I actually had a young man last project who was doing this. He actually cut out the middle bit, which is much harder, but of course that was the wrong bit. Okay, so we had to start again. All right, so I mark those just to show which ends. Now this is the important bit, guys. Because this slot may not be in the middle of your piece of acrylic, yeah, this slot here may not be in the middle. This is important, Aaron. You're watching? Watch what I'm doing. I'm sliding it along so it's now on top of my slot. And I now mark it. And then shade those bits in there. Okay? Everybody understand that? You need to do exactly the same on your back piece. So 2 millimeters in, 2 millimeters in. Then lay it beside your slot. Mark it. Could I ask you, young man, to go to the tool cupboard and get me a coping saw, please? Coping saw. Okay, we all should know what a coping saw is now. I'll pop those on the side there so that you can select those as and when you need them. Now, excellent. Thank you very much for that. To cut acrylic, it's very, very important, as we said again, how is acrylic like me? It's fragile and sensitive, yeah, as I said. So we need to make sure the acrylic is well supported. Yeah, a bit like a baby, supported, yeah. So we've got to get it nice and low in the vise. Now, if you can't get it lower than that, come to the side of the vise. There we go. And that's now nice and low. It's not going to crack. Coping saw, blade, the teeth should be facing towards the handle. That's how you know the blade's in the correct way. I see many people using coping saws like this, like this, like that, like this. Yeah, all wrong. Okay, should be 2 hands on the handle. Yeah, bending the knees so you're keeping your back straight. I'm going to start just by getting myself a little starting point. Now I'm bringing 2 hands to the handle and I'm using the whole of the blade. I'm not doing this. Yeah? Okay, all that's going to happen there is that's going to move. All right? So use the whole of the blade. Do that one. Pop it over to the other side. Nice and low. Starting off on the knees. 2 hands on the handle. Does make a screeching sound, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. Now this is the bit, for some reason, people now go high because they think they've got to cut this top bit. So they have it up there like that. Look how flexible that is. That will crack, okay, if you're not careful. All right. So nice and low again. I'm going to do half and then I'm then going to raise it up the other half. Yeah. Starting off. Let the saw do the cutting. Take the coping saw out, move it up a tiny bit more to do the other half. Again, just using my thumb as a starting point. You can see how much it's moving, and that's even as low down as that, yeah? Let the saw do the cutting. Okay. Take that out. Temptation here, blow. Don't blow, because you'll blow dust back into your eyes. We can wipe that off. Nice and low again. Return back to your file. Just clean those edges up. Obviously cut the other one. How could I check to make sure they're level? Tri-square. Excellent. Tri-square. As Pat so well demonstrated. I can check to make sure that then they're level. You do those on both pieces. As soon as you've done that, you then come back and check in with me. Just before we go, guys, a little bit of a health warning here, guys. If I can just find my pen again. There is at this point a temptation, yeah, that's obviously just reminding us what a coping saw is. There is a temptation to try and squeeze the pieces into the slots. If you do that, what have I got there? It will crack, yeah, okay. So at the moment, don't worry about trying to get that into there, okay. I will tell you now, this piece is thicker than those slots. So if you push it into there, it will crack. That's what I'm going to demonstrate to you next. Okay, so as soon as you're ready, come back to the front. We can then get you doing the next stage. Plastic's over on the side there, acrylic's over on the side there when you're ready. Okay, don't forget to finish off wet and drying down your pieces that we cut last week. There we go, yep, no worries. I say, if you want to wet that down, it gets it much smoother. Yeah. How did they turn out? Yeah.
The ones there, are they all like non-transparent?
Some are non, some are. There's a bit of both.
Have you got any clear pieces of?
Don't think so, no. Sorry. Okay. I can't, unfortunately, I can't even ask our technician to cut that at the moment. So it'd have to be from that selection there. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's looking good. Excellent. Got to mind your knuckles when you're doing that, haven't you? You're scraping on the tables. Okay, so you need one large piece, one smaller piece. You might even want to mark the ends, the bit you're going to actually mark out for your slots. Base piece and back piece, yeah? These are all done now then, are they?
Yeah, no, I have to do these ones.
All right, okay, do that one first then, yeah? Okay, get those done first and then we can then move on, yeah? You okay? All right, you know what you're doing, yeah?
Is there a red one still?
Not unless there's one there. They're the only colours we have, I'm afraid. Did you want a sanding block with that? Are you okay with that? Yeah? That feels nice, lovely. Excellent. You okay? See, when you use a block with that, that's the cork side. We obviously always put that to the cork side. And that will get rid of all those little file marks that you've got on there. You might want to, once you've just gone with that, just go to a slightly smoother file. Yeah. Can you see it changes colour? That means it's getting smoother. Oh, there we go. Oh! Yep, that means that's getting smoother. Yep, okay. Just need to be a bit careful here. Okay, we've got a little bit of a crack here, I've just noticed. Yeah, so what we'll do is when we are sticking your back piece and base bit together, we'll put a touch of glue in there. All right, you've got a cold this morning? Oh dear, there's a lot around at the moment, isn't there? How are you getting on? All right. Let's have a look. Oh, that's okay. What you can do if you want to is actually with your wet and dry, just round that off. Okay, just smooth that down. That's okay. Was that on it when it came to you, yeah? Okay, all right then. Yeah, just round that off. Just get some wet and dry, smooth that off, kind of bit, so it's not sharp. We've got some Perspex polish. That's just glue. It will come off. Okay, but you see, can you see how the glue is making that mark? Yeah. We've got some Perspex polish. Or white spirit. White spirit will get that off. Yeah. Okay, all right, we'll do that before we assemble it. Okay, no worries. They should all be the same size, if I cut them correctly.
No, the line. The 2
Okay.
millimetre line.
See this little, that's 1, 2. Okay, all
I
right.
just wanted to do the 2 millimetre line.
Sorry, how do you?
No, I don't know.
All right, okay. Doesn't matter. Yeah. It's making sure you do them on the right ends. You do them on the longer bit, yeah? So this end and this end, yeah? They're your 2 ends you're doing them on, yeah? Not these 2 sides here, these 2 ends here. That's it. Yours are correct, yeah? That's good. You okay, Aaron? Yeah? Okay, you're marking a line across there now, yeah? Okay, and a line across there. Not this way as someone did last time. They made a very narrow CD rack. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just get a piece of masking tape across there and a piece of masking tape across there, yeah? If you see our technician there, okay, he'll just put a piece of masking tape across there and a piece of masking tape across there. Yeah, do you want to pop down and see him? Mind that just on the floor there, yeah? That's good. How you doing? Okay, no problem.
No, it's 2 centimetres.
2 millimetres, yeah? So if you watch what I do, I'm just going to mark it for you there. 1, 2. Okay, all right. Doesn't matter if it's 3mm, we'll let you off with that one, but yeah, no less than that. All right. The other way, as I said, you could do it, pop that on the end there like that, mark it and mark it. Okay. All right, and then use a square to draw your line. That's very important because that's the tool that we're learning today. Lovely. Just get some wet and dry now, just on those edges, and then that's then job done. Yep, we can get you on with that back bit and base bit. You okay? Did you get that tape? Yeah, good. How you getting on? All right. Marking it okay? Have you used these before? You have. Good. How you doing? Yeah, no problem. I'll use my fine liner. There we go. You make sure I get that back, yeah? Hi. I'll be with you in just a second. Ah, they're tricky, aren't they? What you could do is you can either get in there with wet and dry. You've got to be careful with these because these would have a tendency to break. You could get in there with wet and dry, or alternatively, just using that. Can I borrow that? Is that okay? Yeah? Getting in there with a triangular file. Make a bit of noise. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, okay. It's going to be a bit squeaky. That's because it's quite high. Have you got something in this vise? No, that's the same one. That's the same one as we had before. Okay? All right. I'll tell you what we will do. If you just see our technician there, just to get a bit of masking tape around that, that will stop that from moving around and possibly cracking down there. Okay? All right? Good, good, good.
So do I do it there and there?
Yep. And then what did I then do? I slid it along. Yep. Slide. Keep sliding. And then mark it there and there.
But mine's not in the middle, does that matter?
That's why we're doing it this way, yeah? If you look, Daniel, very clearly, you can see on yours is a good example of this. Clearly that gap there is different to that gap there, yeah? See, if I turned it around and did it that way, it'd be totally wrong, yeah? The little thing I learnt on the first time we did this with students, yeah? Hanging on.
If you look closely,
Yeah, so the way we can get around that is quite simple. If we use a square, pop it on the side there and draw a line, then get a file, just file down to the line, clean that edge up, yeah? Very similar to how we cleaned up the edges when we did the first bit, yeah? Nice and low, take your time. Let's just move that out of the way. There we go. Okay, all right then, okay. You may want to, can you see how you're quite high there? You might want to come to a woodwork vise, yeah? The other reason I say that is as well, anti-clockwise. That's it, hold it. Going to fall. The other thing as well, if I just open it up, have a look. You see it's got teeth inside there. That will mark the acrylic. Okay. Spot on. Very good. Okay. It's dusty, isn't it? Yeah? Acrylic dust. That's lovely. Ooh, lovely. Very nice. Well done. Yep, that's fine. So what's the name of the saw? Coping saw. Good. Ooh, that's why we're saying take your time and get it nice and low. Guys, can I just stop you a second? Come up to the front here. Don't need to bring your work with you, just yourselves. Hold on. Lift the saw out. Okay, excellent. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you, okay, how accidents going to happen if we're working too quickly, yeah, okay, and we haven't got enough support on the acrylic. Now, it's not a problem because we can glue it, that's fine, yeah. Okay, what he was doing, he was sawing, this bit was too high out the vise, and it cracked, okay. So it's not a problem, as I say, we can glue that, that's not a worry. We'll be in just a second then. Not a problem at all, just if we can support that now in the vise, leave that, we'll glue that, work on this one, and this one, okay? And you might just need to see our technician to get a bit of masking tape to support that so we don't lose that bit, all right? Keep it down low, don't try and cut too quickly, okay? All right, we have about 6 more minutes left working time today, and then we then need to think about packing away and setting this week's homework, okay? So about 6 more minutes, okay? Yeah, okay? All right. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, starting off, let the saw do the cutting. It's as soon as you start to make pressure on it, it will crack. Okay, just let the teeth do the cutting.
Is that one done?
That one's done. Oh, how are you? That's it, good. Let the teeth do the cutting. It's very important. Let the saw do the work. You just apply a little pressure. Nice and low. If you can't get it any lower, what did I say you had to do? Just move it to the side. You really want to get that acrylic down nice and low. Bend the knees a little bit, young man. Bend the knees. Bend the knees so you're actually looking at your work. About 2 millimetres. So about there, yeah? Yeah, that's okay. Just work on this one, and this one. I'll glue that this week. We'll get that job done for you.
But I need to come out of it.
I'll do that for you on the machine. Okay? That's nice. Nice and slowly, Danielle, let the saw do the cutting, yeah? How you doing? Ooh. That's glue. Yeah? Is there not another saw up there that you can use? Okay, not a problem. Here we go. There's one just there you can use. Okay, if he's using that, oh, there we go. Okay. So we might need to replace the blade in that one. Got a bit filled with glue. And there's also just one here that needs a sawing. Okay, two hands. And I would, can you hear it's going like that, yeah? Oh, might just have that up here a second. You want it nice and low. Nice and low. Okay. Guys, the secret to success with sawing is supporting the work, keeping it nice and low. That's good. So how do we get that nice and level now? Filing it, draw filing it. Yeah, that's fine. If that doesn't mark it, I've got a fine liner that's out there that you can use. Just give me a second, young man. I'll be with you. Hold on one sec. Hold on. Can you see that's flexing? Yeah. Don't ever worry about getting it nice and low. The lower it is, the more support it's going to have. Bend the knees. Just thumb in there to get it started and let the saw do the cutting. I'm not pressing down. I'm letting the teeth do the cutting, yeah? Now 2 hands on. And look, I could almost, I'm really letting the saw do the cutting, yeah? Okay, and then that way it will never crack. Okay? What, that vise? Yeah. Should be okay. Well, we've got the vices here that you can use. I'd prefer you use the woodwork vise. I'll show you why. If you come round. This is a metalwork vise, yeah? It's got teeth on it, yeah? Can you see inside there? So it'd mark your acrylic, okay? Ooh, hold on. Remember I said I've seen people using it this way, I've seen people using it this way, I've seen people using it this way, yeah? Okay, and remember, look how that is, yeah? Open the vise up. That's where you want to start, yeah? And let the saw do the cutting. So I'm hardly holding that saw, yeah? Even if you have to keep stopping and moving it up, yeah? Let the saw do the cutting. Okay. What's the name of this area? Tri-square. Well done. Pat, what's the name of this? Tri-square. Good. What's the name of it? Tri-square. Good. Well done. Hi. Yes. 2 ways you can do it. As I said, you can do 2 mil and 2 mil. Just let me show you on the ruler though. 1, 2, there, or there. Or, alternatively, we can put our piece of acrylic on there. Not as accurate, I have to say. Mark it. And then we then use tri-square, draw a line across. There's your pen. Yep, certainly can. Have you ever been shown how to do this? No? Holding that piece there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 1 more minute. 1 more minute working time. I've just undone that there like that, so that this piece has come out, yeah? As I was undoing that handle, it moves that bit forward. I'm going to come over the bench here in case any bits fall, yeah? Can you see that? That can move in and out now. I just undo the clips there, come around there to there, and then holding that again, I do that up. Do you want to just finish tightening that up? That's good, nice and tight. That's okay, you can file that down now, exactly like I showed you at the beginning of the lesson. Okay. Nice and low, Aaron, stop there a second. Can you hear that? It's going, yeah? So that means it needs to go a bit lower. Or alternatively, do it over that side. That'd be a bit better, yeah? Remember what we said? Don't try it yet, because it will... Okay, all right, okay. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to just pop your tools down and come around the front. Need to think about finishing off now. Okay, really, really well done on that. Lots of lessons learned, not just particularly about the tools, but more particularly about how we've got to treat materials when we're working with them. We can't just approach it like a bull in a china shop, yeah? We've really got to be quite sensitive and careful with them, otherwise they're going to crack, okay? Particularly with plastic and acrylic, okay? What I'd like you to do now then, please, if we can get our work together, so you take your two pieces of your design, take your base and your back piece, and what I'd like you to do is to bring them and put them in a nice neat pile here, please. What I'd then like you to do is to return your aprons back to the racks, please. If we can have the tools brought back to the tool shop at the front, and then if we can then sit down with our record books open, we can talk about this week's homework. Don't blow, because remember that creates dust, yeah? Okay. Okay, if there's any spare wet and dry, we can reuse that, bring that to the front. Pop that in a nice neat pile here. That's excellent, well done, Pat. Squares goes here, rulers just go up on the rack on the side there by the tools shop there, yeah? Okay, if you could just leave that one there, I just want to check people's learning on that, yeah? Excellent. That one can go away, well done. Brilliant, thank you. Some sanding blocks. Sanding blocks need to go away yet if your area is tidy, yeah? Okay, who's working on this second bench then? Just some tools to come away there. Okay, well done. That's excellent. Just leave those there. That's good. Okay, a couple more squares, tri-squares to come back. Really well done. Excellent. Grab your stools from the side. Okay, planners then open please to this week. And the learning log that we had at the beginning. Oh, pen. Thank you. Okay, well done, Pat. Well done. Excellent. Okay, have we all collected our blazers from the aprons area? Yeah, just one more there. Can you borrow mine? If I can have that back before we go. Okay. Okay, this week then. Obviously worked really, really well there, Year 8. Excellent work. Obviously, next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to finish cutting those slots out, and we're then going to think about getting the slots actually on the CAD-CAM part that we did, the bit that was machined out. We've got to make those slots a little bit wider, so that's what we're going to be learning for next lesson. Okay, so what did I learn today? Well, hopefully we've learned how to use a file accurately. What was the name of the term that I used? Something filing? Begins with D.
Draw filing.
Draw filing. Excellent. Okay. We learnt how to use a tri-square for drawing lines at 90 degrees, and you should now know how to use one of those. We learned how to mark out material accurately, and we obviously learnt how to use one of these correctly, and the correct way to hold it, and the correct way for our posture to be. And then obviously all of you work safely today in the workshops as to be expected. So we achieved our learning objectives today. Homeworks then, please. If I could ask you to record then in DT section today, I'm going to actually test your knowledge to see how well you have learnt using the tools today. So if you could write down then, please, handout sheet to test knowledge. Yeah? So handout sheet to test knowledge. It's a very straightforward worksheet. What it's also going to ask you for, though, if you see at the top of the sheet, it's also asking you for your minimum target grade as well. Just to test that you actually know your minimum target grade now. I know we did a lot of work on this at the beginning of the year, okay, in the beginning of this module, just to actually see now whether you know your minimum target grade, because what I need to do now is an assessment of your work to actually see that you've achieved that minimum target grade, or actually excelled it, gone beyond your minimum target grade, which many of you have. Okay, so just have a quick look at that sheet before we pack away today and go. You can see there you've got 4 diagrams on the left-hand side. Okay, has everyone got a sheet? 4 diagrams then, name at the top. Obviously the target for today's lesson was, what was today's target? Finish the CD rack, get those slots cut out. Okay, first one is the saw there. Okay, the second one is obviously a file. Third one, tri-square. Fourth one, a vise. Now what I've also asked you to do is put a description down, what you would use them for. Sometimes people are very good with the names, but they cannot actually describe what to do with that tool. Okay, and then lastly, how did you get on with the lesson today? What is going to be your target for the next lesson? Okay, all right. If we could then close our planners up, please. As I was coming round, I checked those. Thank you for that. Okay, if we can pop those away in our bags now then, please. Stand behind our chairs. That's good, I'll collect that in a moment. Okay. Okay, stand behind our chairs then, please. Shows me that you're ready. Ah, lovely, thank you. I was wondering why you were using that so quickly. Give it back to me. Okay, how are we doing? Oh, back row's ready. Excellent. Okay. How are we doing there, Pat? Good. Okay, really, really well done today. All right, excellent. As I say, next lesson then, we're going to be marking out, finishing off that marking out, getting those slots cut out, and then filing that slot so that it all goes together so that we can actually glue. Has anyone got any questions about their homework just before we finish today? No? Okay. Yes, question at the back there.
When is it due?
Due for next lesson. Okay, next week. Okay. Second row. Would you like to depart? Excellent. Have a good day. Okay, we've got your stuff together on the back row. Third row, off you go. Have an excellent day. Last but by no means least, the front row. Have an excellent day. See you later. Well done today. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye now. Today the students did very, very well actually with their objectives because they've had a little bit of a gap between their learning with our curriculum enrichment week last week. Came in today, did very, very well. I was really pleased. All worked superbly on the task. Have a little bit of work to do next lesson in terms of getting them to fit into the slots. My objectives was obviously to learn about a range of hand tools, the coping saw, the tri-square, which they did and was obviously tested at the end of the lesson. I was very pleased with that. Principally, I'd like to revisit using a coping saw because some students, as you saw in the lesson, the piece of acrylic was quite high in the vise and actually we had one that cracked. So we'd need to revisit that just to develop that skill a tiny bit. In general, I thought the lesson was excellent and achieved the objectives.